X now. Extreme sports at a standstill. Blame it on the genes, the novelty gene. Extreme athletes aren't crazy. They're just wired differently. It seems their novelty gene is slightly varied from the average person's. Scientists believe the genes that control sensitivity to the neurotransmitter dopamine, a pleasure chemical for the brain, are responsible for a number of personality traits, including being an extreme athlete. Here is how it works. Dopamine is like a courier that delivers messages. When released by the neurons in the reward section of the brain, dopamine generates a feeling of pleasure and well-being, as well as increasing alertness. It is also involved in the fight or flight response experienced when we are placed in a threatening situation. This is an evolutionary leftover for the most part. Without this state of awareness, our prehistoric ancestors may not have survived. Dopamine and sensations of reward are thought to have evolved to reinforce the motivation of beneficial activities such as eating and drinking. Extreme sports makes a person feel more alive. They provide pleasure and satisfaction and increase awareness and perceptivity. It is the release of dopamine that causes these reactions. All people possess a gene called D4DR that programs a dopamine receptor or receiver, enabling the receptor to detect the presence of dopamine. Now, not all D4DRs are created equally. Some are longer than others and, as a consequence, are more sensitive to dopamine levels. This means that people with longer D4DRs, the novelty gene, are in a low mood when only normal levels of dopamine are present. But when the levels of dopamine are increased, these novelty seekers sense the thrills more intensely. These people are the extreme athletes. The more extreme the activity, the more intense the sensation. And it would seem that the nickname adrenaline junkie given to extreme athletes is well deserved, as they are always inventing ways to make their extreme sports even more extreme. Perhaps they just can't help themselves.